Imagine a world where decisions are made collectively without a central authority dictating terms. Picture a vibrant marketplace, not just of goods, but of ideas and governance, where individuals come together to shape the rules that govern their lives. This is the essence of decentralization, a paradigm shift that challenges the very foundations of our current societal structures. At its core, decentralization means distributing power away from a central point, creating a web of connections where each node has a say. In contrast to centralized systems, where decisions flow from the top down, decentralized systems allow for collective decision-making, promoting transparency and reducing the potential for corruption. Think back to historical examples, like the city-states of ancient Greece, where local governance empowered citizens to engage directly in the political process. These decentralized models fostered innovation and civic responsibility, illustrating that when power is shared, communities thrive. Now, fast forward to the present day, we find ourselves at a crossroads, grappling with the limitations of centralized authority in various domains, be it government, finance, or even the internet. The strange consequence of this centralization is often a disconnect between the authorities and the individuals they serve. What if we embrace decentralization not just as a theoretical concept, but as a practical framework for organizing society? What if, instead of waiting for decisions to trickle down from above, we could engage in a direct dialogue with our peers, crafting solutions that reflect the unique needs of our diverse communities? This thought experiment leads us to question the very nature of authority and governance. It prompts us to consider who benefits and who loses in a decentralized system. Would it lead to a more equitable distribution of power, or would it risk descending into chaos without a guiding hand? As we explore these questions, we must also acknowledge that decentralization is not a panacea. There are challenges to navigate: security concerns, effective governance structures, and the potential for fragmentation. However, the allure of a society where individuals are empowered to take charge of their destinies is compelling. It invites us to rethink our assumptions about leadership, responsibility, and the role of technology in shaping our future. As we delve deeper into this exploration, let us remain curious about the possibilities and the trade-offs that decentralization presents. What new structures might emerge from this shift, and how might they redesign our relationships with one another and the systems that govern us? What if you could execute a contract automatically without a middleman? Imagine a bustling marketplace where, instead of negotiating terms with a vendor or waiting for a bank to process a payment, you simply set the terms of your agreement in a program that executes itself once conditions are met. This is the essence of smart contracts, a pivotal technology that operates on the blockchain, a decentralized digital ledger. Here, transactions are not only transparent, but also immutable, meaning once a contract is executed, it cannot be altered. This ensures that all parties involved can trust the process, reducing the need for intermediaries like lawyers, banks, who traditionally manage these agreements. But how does this actually work in practice? Picture a scenario in decentralized finance, or DeFi, where individuals lend and borrow cryptocurrencies without the oversight of a centralized institution. With smart contracts, a borrower can set conditions for a loan, such as the interest rate and repayment period, encoded directly into the contract. Once the borrower meets these conditions, the smart contract automatically transfers the funds, and the repayment is equally seamless. This automation not only saves time, but also eliminates the risk of human error or misinterpretation that often plagues traditional contracts. Now let's consider the implications of this automation. What happens when we remove the middleman? On one hand, we gain unprecedented efficiency and trust. Transactions can occur in real time, with clear rules and expectations laid out from the beginning. However, there's a paradox at play here. While smart contracts empower individuals by giving them control over their agreements, they can also introduce complexity. What if a contract encounters an unforeseen circumstance that was not accounted for in its code? The strange consequence is that in a world governed by rigid smart contracts, flexibility can become a casualty. Moreover, if we look at real-world applications, consider how DeFi platforms like Uniswap or Aave are revolutionizing finance. These platforms allow users to trade and lend assets without traditional banking infrastructure, showcasing the potential of smart contracts to democratize access to financial services. Yet, this democratization comes with risks. Security vulnerabilities in smart contracts have led to significant financial losses, raising questions about accountability in a decentralized landscape. As we ponder these dynamics, we must ask ourselves, Who truly benefits from this shift? Is it the average user, or do we merely exchange one set of gatekeepers for another? The challenge lies in finding a balance, a way to harness the power of smart contracts while ensuring that we maintain safeguards against the chaos that can accompany decentralization. With each step into this new territory, we must remain vigilant about the trade-offs we are making. What would happen if we fully embraced smart contracts in every aspect of our lives? Would the benefits of efficiency and autonomy outweigh the potential pitfalls of rigidity and vulnerability? As we continue this exploration, let's keep our eyes on the horizon, wondering how the interplay of technology and human agency will shape our future. Imagine a bustling city square filled with vibrant market stalls, each run by individuals and groups who make their own rules. This is the essence of decentralization, a system where power is distributed rather than concentrated in the hands of a few. While the idea of a decentralized society brings to mind images of freedom and innovation, it also raises critical questions about the balance between empowerment and chaos. What would happen if we fully embraced decentralization? Could it lead to a more equitable world, or might it spiral into disarray? To answer these questions, let's explore both the benefits and the challenges associated with this shift. Decentralization offers a unique opportunity to enhance transparency and reduce corruption. In a system where decisions are made collectively, everyone has a stake in the outcomes. Imagine a community that uses blockchain technology to track public spending. Each transaction is recorded, visible to all, and immutable, meaning that no one can alter it without consensus. This level of transparency could foster trust among citizens, as they could see exactly how their resources are being allocated. In theory, it could create a society where accountability is ingrained in the very fabric of governance, significantly curbing corrupt practices that thrive in opaque systems. However, this idealized vision of decentralization is not without its pitfalls. As we shift power away from centralized authorities, we also risk creating a governance vacuum. Who is responsible for decision-making in a decentralized system? How do we ensure that the voices of the minority are heard amidst the clamor of the majority? These questions become even more pressing when we consider the security concerns that accompany decentralization. Without a central authority, the responsibility for securing data and maintaining order falls on the community itself. This decentralization of responsibility can create vulnerabilities. For instance, decentralized finance platforms have become targets for hackers, with significant sums of money lost due to security flaws. The strange consequence is that while decentralization aims to empower individuals, it may inadvertently expose them to greater risks. To illustrate this dual nature of decentralization, let's look at case studies of decentralized organizations. Take the example of a decentralized autonomous organization, or DAO, which operates on smart contracts. Imagine a group of artists who come together to fund community projects. They pool their resources and establish a DAO to manage contributions. Each member has voting rights proportional to their investment, which should ideally ensure that decisions reflect the collective will. However, what happens when disagreements arise? The organization may become paralyzed by infighting or face challenges in coordination. The promise of collective empowerment can quickly devolve into chaos if effective governance structures are not in place. Moreover, the very technology that enables decentralization can also complicate governance. Smart contracts, while efficient, are rigid and unforgiving. Once deployed, they execute actions based on predetermined conditions without the possibility for human intervention. This inflexibility can be beneficial in eliminating biases, but what if the initial conditions are flawed or unforeseen circumstances arise? The stakes are high, as errors in smart contracts can lead to significant financial losses or unintended consequences. As we ponder the broader implications of a decentralized world, it becomes clear that we must navigate a delicate balance. The potential for greater freedom and transparency exists alongside the challenges of security and governance. So, what would a society that fully embraces decentralization look like? Would it lead to a renaissance of creativity and collaboration, or might it unravel into chaos? The answers remain elusive, but the exploration of these questions is essential as we stand on the brink of this transformative shift. The journey into a decentralized future is fraught with both promise and peril, and how we approach these challenges will ultimately shape the society we create.